thanks for tuning in. I wanted to remind you of our Road to 1,000 subscribers giveaway that we have going on our YouTube channel. If you subscribe and have a public profile, you'll be entered to win a free RX Smart Gear original jump rope. You'll get to pick the pattern of the handles, the color and weight of the cable, and you'll be getting one of the best-selling, best-performing jump ropes out there. Every time we hit a new century mark with the number of subscribers to our channel, we'll randomly select a new winner. And our friend Dave Newman is going to throw in a little something extra for each winner. So a special thanks to our sponsor, RX Smart Gear, to Dave Newman for being such a great partner, and to you for being a loyal listener. Good luck, and I hope you are our next winner.
Okay, can we talk about the most delicious protein bars ever made? Bearbells. These are caramel cashew. These are my go-to. They're my favorite. They have 20 grams of protein, no added sugar. The macros are phenomenal, like 200 calories, less than a handful of grams of sugar in the whole bar. Did I say 20 grams of protein? Yeah. They are delicious, like a treat. Can't believe that the macros are the way they are and that the nutrients are what they are, because they taste like a candy bar. And I know my candy bars pretty well. I'm like a Snickers type of person. There's no aftertaste. They have so many flavors to choose from. If you're not a fan of the caramel cashew, they've got salty peanut. They have a hazelnut nougat. They've got a chocolate dough, a crispy fudge, cookies and cream. What am I missing? White chocolate almond. They're all delicious. I like all of them, but check them out at bearbells.com. Try some for yourself. You won't be sorry. They're delicious. Totally awesome.
Okay. Yours in the wrong ears.
He's.
Hi.
All right, let me figure this out. I got a new tripod that I'm trying to figure out here. So if I go this way, will it let me do it? There we go.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
And you feel more of the screen.
Yeah. See? All right. Let's see if it'll stay this way if I actually want to tighten it up. Oh my goodness, look at this. See? This is all my wife's doing.
Look at you with the tripod. I love it.
Yeah, my wife's like, you got to get a tripod. You got to do this. So we got now we have a big one. This one's got like the big circular light, and then we got a small one, and then we're gonna get like a mic, I guess, or something. I don't know. You know, I'm along for the ride.
That's what happens when you go big time.
Yep.
I know, man. What can I say? How you guys doing?
Good.
We're doing great. We're holed up in an Airbnb in Knoxville.
Yeah, you've got like some cool art going on in the background, and
this is a funky little place we're staying in.
It
cool.
Looks funky. Yeah, very cool. How's the vibe down there right now?
Well, Kat's only seen the airport.
Oh, okay.
But I went to the venue today. Looks great. Yeah. Like they're using all the lights and the scoreboard in the middle, and so it looks great.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And then what do we got? About 30 minutes until Torian starts.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. I was just talking to Con. So
we talked to him.
We talked to him yesterday right before he hopped on a plane.
Oh, did you?
To go, yeah.
He's good. He's excited.
I'm excited for him. He's my pick.
Yeah,
he's my pick to win.
These are good workouts for him.
They're really good workouts for him, and he's going in pretty confident.
Yeah, he did extremely well in practice. So yeah, good. I hope he does well, because then that means he gets to come to Vegas and play with us for a while. So
that'll be fun. He guaranteed a win in event
6. The burpee box jump over one.
I think he's got a chance at a couple of them. I mean, it's
it's a nice feeling when you're going into a competition where none of the workouts are, bother you or like, oh, I don't know about that one. He said he felt really good about all of them.
I think he should be pretty solid. I know he would have rathered it be legless rope climbs than regular rope climbs. Mm-hmm. In that handstand walk lunge, but he loves lunges. And he loves that. I think he really likes that the Amanda workout. I think as long as he just manages the reverse tri. I mean, he's really good on the second two, on the monostructural, like the bike and the rower. Obviously, is ridiculous. Just maintaining on the assault runner. But yeah, should be fun. I'm interested. And then I've got someone down in the MAC. She wasn't even expecting to make semis this year, so this is exciting for her.
Oh, nice. Who's that?
Her name is Emily Nussbaum. She's a converted weightlifter, and her goal this year was just to make it to quarters. So
wow.
and she finished 78th in North America. So she actually, it wasn't like she was on the bubble. Like, she did really well at quarters. So now, but this round, you know, she's just like, this is her first big CrossFit competition. She's like, you know, nervous. I'm like, you got no pressure on you. Just go in and have fun, man.
What's her snatch?
She has 200-pound snatch. Her clean and jerk is better than that. Like, if it was clean and jerk, her clean and jerk is like 260. So she's
legit.
Yeah, she's like a little stout nugget, man. She's like 4'11" and just like, oh, you know.
What's her first name again?
Emily.
All right, we'll look out for her.
Yeah. So
we'll give her some love.
Cool. Yeah. She'll probably have a crew from Ohio that came down with her, but for her, it's just, you know.
So what part of Ohio?
God, man. I think she's not too far from Columbus. But she's training with she's actually the girlfriend of a guy that I used to program for. And that's how she got to me. And so she's been with me. It's been probably just right before the Open, so not that long. But that's when she decided she wanted to commit to CrossFit. She was doing weightlifting competitions. So literally,
hello.
Oh, there she is.
Hey,
what's up?
How much are you?
What's up, girl? There she is. We were going to try to do it together, but then we were like, yeah, it's just worried about the audio.
Yeah.
Well, Scott and I were going to be in two
we
separate
don't need
rooms
any
and try it too. So
yeah,
we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I was like, we don't need any technology issues.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm already bad with it as it is.
If you could see our setup, because we're in an Airbnb at the MAC.
Oh.
And so, like, we've got a fan holding up the back of the laptop. We've got a stack of like 5 books holding up the laptop.
Yeah. We're at this tiny little cafe table, like squished together in lawn chairs. So
I love it.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
You gotta make do, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. And congratulations too.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's really
awesome.
On
well, first the weight loss, but then the morning chalk up stuff too. Both
of
it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been a great year so far.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, is the whole crew coming out to Vegas?
What's that?
Is the whole crew going to come out to Vegas?
Just the 2 of us.
Us 2 of y'all. Cool. Well, that's great.
I can't wait. I'm not leaving until Tuesday. So I'm expecting some long bike rides in the gym with everybody Monday and Tuesday as they decompress from the weekend.
Oh, I might not even see them for a couple of days, but we'll see.
That's
all
right.
I just want to after semis.
Yeah, right. That weekend. I want to just languish on that window wall. It looks so warm and like inviting, where you guys like right in front of the rig there, where there's that big window of a wall of windows.
Oh, where the turf is.
Sleeps.
Yeah, I just want to hang out there.
Where Bella just hangs out, and
I'll be doing that.
Nick used to just take naps there too. Nick from Argentina. When he was here, he would just like go over there, sit in the sun like a lizard, and just fall asleep.
Yeah, that was his afternoon relaxing siesta spot. Yeah,
his siesta spot.
Well, we want to thank you both for jumping on with us. We've already hit record, so we can go ahead and get started.
Oh, cool, man. Awesome.
What we're going to do, I'll just give you a quick rundown, is we're just kind of recap from when you both were on with us before, and then kind of how you came together, what that's been like, a little bit about what's coming up with West Coast, and then we're going to hit underdogs to finish off the show.
Cool.
And I lied. And then we hit the rapid fire questions at the end of the show.
Do whatever you do.
We're ready.
So, all right. So, hey everyone, welcome to the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends. My name is Scott Schweitzer. I'm your host. I am the Clydesdale. We love to do fitness, and these are my friends. And I have my co-host Kat with me here in Knoxville, Tennessee.
In person.
And we've got Justin and Bethany from the Vegas Mafia, I think is what you're called, and now Underdogs.
There we go.
The Underdogs.
Love it.
Yeah, we both thank you. Oh, look,
Wrapping.
Bethany's got a shirt, man. Look at that.
Represent.
See?
Gotta represent.
I didn't even have to ask her. She just did that. That's pretty cool.
So
Do what I gotta do.
my first question for you is, how did the Vegas thing kind of come about? I know the last time we talked to both of you, it was kind of rumored and talked about, but it wasn't really a full-fledged idea at that point.
You want me to go, Bethany?
Yeah, Justin, go for it.
Cool. Yeah, it's been pretty unbelievable. I mean, I think we spoke, it was after Carrie came in third, right, at the games. And I think we were talking about the possibility of some other athletes coming, but I don't think it was written in stone as of yet. But for conversations that I had with Bethany, conversations that I had with Danielle, and then conversations with Tola, with Nicholas, with Matt, etc. And I think everyone just kind of took a look at the situation, and the idea of being able to be in an environment with incredibly competitive athletes, and also Vegas is a really, honestly, it's a really great place to be if you're an athlete, as far as being able to train year round, the weather, cost of living, etc. So I think there were a lot of things that came together. I'd like to think I had a little bit to do with it, maybe they want to come here and work with me. But honestly, I got to tell you guys, it's unbelievable how well everything is working out. I'm really happy with the family that we've created here, and that's really what it is. And I think obviously everyone has done extremely well thus far in the season. And I'm, you can obviously get Bethany's opinion on it, but I love what we're able to bring to the gym on a daily basis. Every day, they're able to level up with just being in the gym with people that are other athletes that are that good. It's great for me to be able to have an eye on them, and even like with Bethany the other day, that we were just doing some power clean cycling and just little tweaks, something that I'd be able to see that if she was in another gym, might not be able to pick it up, and especially just immediate feedback, that type of stuff. So I think it's just been amazing. And obviously that's the trend that we're seeing now with competitive athletes and the different camps around the country. But, I'll put this camp up against anybody's, man. I feel really, really strongly about my group, and I love them to death. I really do. They're all part of my family now, and they know I'd do anything for them. So it's awesome.
So I think the results speak for themselves. And kind of the follow-up I want for you, Bethany, is, we talked to you and you had talked about how you and Carrie and Danielle got together for stage 1 of the games. And then you went back to help Carrie get ready for the games. And so what was it that clicked for you that said, hey, I want to be a part of this full time?
So both of us, actually, Danielle and I, went to go help her get ready for the games. And I think for me, in Texas, I had such a great community there, but I kind of just hit my ceiling and just needed that next extra push. And I think I was just ready for something new. And for me, just being in Texas, I was like, I'm missing something. I'm missing something. And when I got out to Vegas, I was like, wow. I didn't know how hard. I didn't even push myself hard because I was already done with my season. But just being around Danielle and Carrie and just seeing how hard that Carrie was pushing, just being with a group of us, it was just crazy. It was just a cool ready for it for sure. And yeah, it was, I don't know. I don't even know what to say, because like it's just been so exciting being out here. And like Justin said, like it's just been such a crazy environment, and we are pushing ourselves so much harder than I think that we ever would have. Like, I don't think I would have pushed myself as hard as I did during the Open or even during quarterfinals without the group that we have here. And to piggyback on what Justin said too, like I think that Justin just does like a really good job of catering to each of the athletes that are here in Vegas, and that just makes a world of a difference too.
So last time you were on, Justin, you talked about how when you bring on an athlete, they have to be the right fit for you. It's not just people say, hey, I want to work with Justin, and it happens. And so I want to know, what was it about Bethany that made you feel like she was the right fit? And then conversely, Bethany, why did you think Justin was the right fit?
So there's a couple things. So I got to see Bethany up close and personal really twice. 2019 when she made it to Final 10, and all the athletes, when they made all those cuts down to the top 10. And then obviously stage one of the games when we went out to Sacramento. And I'll be honest, I was pretty impressed that she was able to perform as well as she did on like half a body. She was not healthy at the top 10. She wasn't healthy in stage one. And when the idea kind of came up, and the first time the idea came up was I had spoken to Bethany's manager, Cooper Marsh. And, Cooper had mentioned to me, what do you think about the possibility of working with Bethany? And I was really excited about the idea of being able to create a program for her where we could actually train through a season. Now, there might be minor steps backwards. They're professional athletes. They're going to be aches and pains. And obviously, Bethany's had a background with some back issues. But I felt like if we did it the right way, that we'd be able to make her stronger and really work her weaknesses. And then it was really nice because we spent a good amount of time talking in person and then conversing on the phone, and getting to know each other. And listen, the bottom line is you have to be able to establish trust. As a coach, and coach athlete is important, and you can do that with conversations, but obviously, it's more about just time and creating that trust. What I didn't know about Bethany though was I didn't know how solid she was or is as far as her focus, her habits, her routines, very similar to Carrie in that respect. And honestly, I knew she was good, but I didn't know that I would put her up against anyone as far as cardiovascular endurance goes. Like, that's something you can't teach. I think she's got a top 3 engine in a game. She does things on a daily basis that blow my mind sometimes. I think, it's just absolutely incredible to watch and to see her be able to do some of the stuff she does, and then she walks away like it didn't even affect her. I mean, we all just look at each other like it's insane. And honestly, she's just such a good person, and I feel so lucky to have her here with us as part of our family, and the fact that she picked me. I can't tell you how privileged I feel every day to be able to work with her. She's truly she's not just a great athlete; she's a great person, and it's really awesome, the fact that she's here with us. But yeah, don't let it fool you though. She's a silent assassin. I mean, she's, she really is. And that's awesome. We see it all the time. Yeah, so those are a few things for sure that, why I think we came together, and then obviously why the relationship is flourishing. She was one of only 2 athletes in North America who finished in the top 20 in 4 out of the 5 quarterfinal events. So that's pretty strong. Her and Mal O'Brien were the only 2 North American females to finish in top 20 in 4 out of 5. So that's pretty
they're
good.
both 17.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Plus 10.
Crazy.
So Bethany, talk to us a little bit about what are some of the things that make you, really trust Justin and know that you're in the right spot now as well.
Yeah. I think for me, so like we got together, like he said, through Cooper. Cooper manages Danielle, me, and Carrie. And that's kind of where this whole thing started. I knew that I wanted to move like 3 years ago, and I was just kind of waiting for an opportunity. And I told Cooper, I guess 2 years ago, I was like, hey, like if you know of any opportunities or doors opening, please let me know. I'm really looking to move, but I want it to be a smart move. I don't want to just like move to Montana and just be like, yeah, I'm hanging out here, whatever. And when I think it was kind of like the same instance as Justin, I got to see him with Carrie in 2019. And I've gone through a series of coaches, and I've been blessed with, like some great coaching, and then just kind of grew out of it. And I just saw the way that he was with Carrie, and I was like, wow, like I kind of want that. And that was before like I even thought about moving to Vegas or anything, or even before they were in Vegas. And I just remember watching them and just seeing how in tune he was with Carrie. And I was like, that's something that I really, really want. And then like fast forward a year, Cooper was like, hey, well, Carrie and Justin are out in Vegas. I don't know if you have any interest in that. And I was like, Vegas? I was like, oh, I don't know. I've never been to Vegas before. And like, all you think about is like the strip, and that's it, and the end. And then I think going out there for the first time and just being around the environment, and like just seeing Justin really work in person with Carrie and all of us. And like I said earlier, just kind of catering to all of us. Even before I was even coached by him, he came and like catered to me and met my needs and stuff. And we just kind of built that relationship over the last, since I've been here and since January. And it's definitely flourished a lot. And I just see the way that he is with that. Like, I like to observe and watch, as Justin will tell you. We were actually talking about that the other day. Is like, you're the introvert, and I like to observe and watch, and I see things. I see the way that he is with all of us through our ups and downs, and even helping me through my ups and downs. And it's been cool. I've really enjoyed it a lot. So that's been great. And yeah, I'm just super thankful for just the way he is with all of us. It's cool because there isn't a lot of coaches that can really cater to a lot of athletes at the same time. And I was kind of worried about that at first, because you're like, I don't know, you're going from like just being with Carrie, even though he has other athletes too, but being with Carrie to like all 6 of us, and it's hard. And it's kind of like a gamble too. Like, I'm taking a gamble, he's taking a gamble on me. And there's no perfect athlete and no perfect programming. But I think when you can mesh together with somebody and, build that trust, it's just, you can go so much farther. So that's what's happening here.
What do you think is sort of the biggest improvement that you've made since heading out there in terms of your
just building the confidence? I think that Justin's done a really good job, not only with me, but with everybody there or here, is just making us believe that we are good enough. And I think, like, especially as women, especially the way that we grew up, we were all gymnasts, is we're super, super hard on ourselves, and we doubt ourselves sometimes. And I'm pretty sure that's all humans, right? And I think Justin does a really good job with us of just like teaching us how to be confident in our own abilities. And I think it's hard for a coach to learn how to do that and make an athlete believe in themselves. And so it's been cool to just, really find my confidence here in Vegas. And that's half the battle, especially when you go to like a 4 or 5 day competition, is you're going to have those slumps and the ups and downs, and even training throughout the year. But if you can really find the ability and the confidence, and you can get that from your coach and then find that from within, makes a huge difference.
So I want to follow up with that real quick, because last time we talked to you, you talked about having to dial back your, let's say, grit, because you were always trained to kind of push through the pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you did that to a point where you actually broke your body down.
Yeah.
So did you get any kind of relief from Justin in ways to do that?
Yeah. And I think that's where the confidence comes from, right? Because then, like, you're not going to be missing out. Like, as much as you think that you are, if you have the confidence to know what kind of athlete you are and how your body works, then you're able to go a lot farther. So like for me, yes, I have back issues, but I let that define me a lot last year. And I dealt with a lot of injuries last year. But knowing that, we just have to know, okay, for me, maybe it's 3 weeks on and then take a little bit of a deload. And it's different per athlete, right? And so he's giving me the confidence and the ability to be like, okay, I know my body. I really do know my body, and I know what's going to work for me, and what works for Danielle and what works for Carrie isn't going to work for me. And so he does a really good job with like, hey, this is what's going to work for you. It's okay. You're going to be just fine, because you go through all these struggles in your head, especially if something hurts or you're injured or whatever it is. And he's like, it's okay. You're going to be fine. And just hearing that sometimes is enough. And I don't think I heard that enough from my other coaches. It's more just like pushing through the pain and you'll be fine and whatever. And the support that I get from Justin is way different than I have from some of the other coaches I've had in the past.
So Justin, what did you see in Bethany that you knew you could improve? Because she's already a top 10 games athlete. She's a perennial top finisher. What did you see in her that you could improve to make her even better?
I think it's exactly what she talked about. When I got to watch her in stage 1 of the games, and honestly, she was broken, and it wasn't just physically. She was broken emotionally and mentally. And when you see somebody who's as talented as she is, and you're a coach, and you see them struggling, you can't help but I can't help but want to help them. And the fact that she also is just such a good person. Like if she was an asshole, I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be, I'd be like, okay, but no, I mean, we got to spend time and, you can just tell a vibe from somebody, and, you can also tell like, in stage 1, she was there with her boyfriend, like he's a really cool dude, and just the way she interacted with everyone. And then the way that she was willing to be able to help Carrie and, once she kind of knew that the top 5 wasn't attainable, like, she and Danielle both were really willing to be able to kind of team up and help Carrie get to the next level. And I mean, that takes a lot of character, and a lot of unselfishness. And, we had some hard conversations prior to her coming here. And I don't say hard conversations, but tough conversations where I was like, listen, one of the biggest things we need to work on is your mind. One of the biggest things we have to do is we've got to completely flip your mindset, right? Like I had heard so many negative statements in stage 1 that she would talk about herself and about her performance and my goal was for us to flip that. I didn't want to hear that anymore. There were certain things I was like, okay, we're not going to say this. We're not going to talk about we're not going to say suck. You don't suck at anything. We're not going to, there's like certain things we're not going to allow. We're not going to, and then we put that program together, and she knows her body really well. And we kind of came together and we put together a program where we push hard for a couple of weeks, and then we have we back off a little bit, and we push hard and then we back off. And I think her maturity as an athlete, understanding that and being willing to accept that, because there's some athletes that they see what the other athletes are doing, right, and they want to continue to push that way. And I think it was important for her to have someone to say, listen, it's okay to do that. And in the long run, it's going to benefit us, because we're putting together something that's right for you. And, so those were some of the things. And then, like I said, just getting to know her and, seeing the way she goes about her business and, she's just she's just a solid, good person, and a just freaking scary good athlete, which makes it more, even more fun. So
You talk a little bit.
We're going to take a short break from our interview to tell you about our newest sponsor, Up Before You Coffee. They are an amazing coffee. It is delicious, has different little notes of chocolate and things like that. And it's really clean and crisp when you drink it in the morning. But they have a light roast. They also have a medium roast, as you can see there. We are so excited about this sponsorship. If you use Clydesdale 20, all caps, Clydesdale 20, you can get 20% off your order. Just go to upbeforeyou.com and order your coffee. It's delicious. You'll love it.
You talk a little bit about, you being with Danielle and with Carrie. There's been some criticism just out in the atmosphere around these camps and how can these elite athletes, be training together when they're competing against each other, essentially. So how do you guys sort of find that balance of, competitive nature and still, like the friendship and the bond and all of that? Because it seems like you guys have the perfect formula there. And at some point, even in a few weeks, like you're all going to be competing against each other, so how do you balance that?
Yeah, we all had conversations prior to everyone coming here. We had a sit down once everybody got here, like a big athlete meeting where, we put it on the table, and we said, listen, there's two ways this can go, right? Like it can be beneficial to everybody, where we come essentially to work, right, every day, and we really take advantage of the opportunity that we have in this unbelievably competitive environment where, yes, y'all want to kick each other's butts, right? But at the same time, like there's also a mutual respect for everyone. And if you don't, if you can't handle that, then it's not the right situation for you. And that was something we talked about prior to. And then, now listen, that can always end up not working out still, right? But I think everyone's done an amazing job of being competitive, but also being respectful. And everyone has goals. And that's one of the big things. I'm a big, like, put your goals out into the open and talk about them. Otherwise, they're not goals, they're dreams, right? Like you gotta put them out there. And we talked a lot about goals at the beginning, and at the end of the day, we can all achieve our goals and still be in this environment. Like that's the way that I look at it. And everybody here, I think, has accepted the environment that they're in, and they're utilizing it to build them to be the best possible athlete and person that they can be. And I think, like you said, Kat, it's just talking about it, right? Like if you avoid it, then ultimately there's going to be this. And we just right away just spoke about it. And we spoke about how we can help each other. And we spoke about, listen, everyone slightly has at some points different schedules, but we try to make sure we're metconning, 3 days a week together. Some of them have weightlifting partners that they always train with, and then we metcon as a group. Some of them like to do sometimes by themselves, but there are points where we are getting together to make sure that competitive atmosphere is helping them get better and better and better.
So Bethany, I have a question for you. So I've talked to a couple of Justin's athletes recently, and they talk about the relationships, not only with Justin, but with Ashley and the kids.
Yeah.
And I see videos of them in the gym, and I see videos of like your boyfriend there working out with you. Is there a family dynamic to this whole thing? Because essentially your families are there with you the whole time.
Yeah, 100%. I think that was like the coolest thing. The first week I was there is getting to meet Ashley and the kids, and they're all always there hanging out with us, and it's just like a lot of fun. It just makes it just more welcoming. Like Ashley is such an amazing human. She is such a great support system, not only for Justin, but for all of us athletes here. And she did such a great job during the open, like judging all of us, and during quarterfinals and being there, and just like having the kids there too, always makes it exciting. We always got things. We got Jax eating chalk, or Ivy, running around flipping and stuff. And it's cool for the kids too. I think they're observers, right? And they see things. And so I think for them to see like strong women in the gym and strong men and all of us just hanging out and having a good time and working out and lifting weights and doing gymnastics, like I think it's a cool way for the kids to grow up. And Ivy, their daughter, gets to mimic and hang out and do handstands with us and do their own little Metcons. And I'm sure Jax will be the same way when he's a little bit older. And it's cool to be in an environment where it's just like very family friendly. And I don't know how it was in New York for Justin, but I'm sure it was the same way when he was up there. And so it's cool that he's bringing that down to Vegas. And I'm excited too for, the future of whatever facility he opens up and just the family dynamics of that as well. But yeah, it's cool to like have our significant others be a part of it too. It makes it a better environment, more of a fun training environment when it's like that. And to kind of piggyback on what Justin said too, I think emotional maturity is a big thing that we have in our group. And just ego is the enemy, right? And leaving the ego at the door. And I think like as kind of referencing back to the gymnastics, like gymnastics is an individual sport, but it takes a team every single day. And we used to train together and push each other really hard in the gym. And I think it's kind of the same with that as we're getting in Vegas, is we're getting to push each other and help each other out too. I think there's things that I've learned so much from Danielle and Carrie, and just watching them move with certain movements, and like I can observe and then I can make changes to like my gymnastics, my weightlifting. And then we're all just kind of like, oh, you're doing that, okay, let me try that out. Oh, you're doing that, okay, let me try that out. Or we'll talk about the workout before of like, how are you going to split this up? And so it's cool to have that environment where there is no ego, and we're able to kind of just help each other out with each workout and with movements as well.
So now that we're done with all the mushy relationship stuff, which is awesome, we have a competition coming up in 3 weeks. This is going to air right the week of that. But as we're talking to you 3 weeks out, what is it going to be like for both of you to walk into a venue with a live crowd?
Go for it, Justin.
Yeah, I can't wait. I was lucky to be one of the coaches in the bubble, but not having fans, not having that energy, it's not the same. You guys know that. And so for me, I just can't wait. And the fact that it's in our hometown now, it's so cool. The fact that Vegas is going to represent, and the fact, it's really, I think it's an advantage for us to be able to sleep in our own beds, and they're used to the altitude and they're used to the dry air. And, so I'm excited for it, and you guys, I've always kind of prided myself as a game day coach. I think it just goes back to grid and to feeling really solid about getting the most out of my athletes on game day. So I'm just stoked. We have lofty goals and lofty expectations, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I love them. I believe in them, and I really think it's going to be a hell of a weekend. I'm excited.
I'm expecting a killer outfit from you too, Justin. Please, can we bring back the suit and
Oh man,
come on now?
I would love to.
That'd be amazing.
It might look ridiculous, but that would be pretty cool, though.
Win in Vegas. Win in Vegas.
That's right. The after party for sure, Kat. No
Okay.
question about it.
Sounds good.
So Bethany, what are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, I think I thrive a lot off of the crowd. So I think it was an interesting and a hard dynamic for stage one for me last year, just to not have that crowd. And people were saying it's like, well, you're not a true athlete if you can't compete without a crowd. And that's true. Like, that was such a great growing experience for me last year, especially to not have that crowd aspect. But there's just something to be said that I think a lot of the athletes did miss, of just having the crowd behind you, just screaming and yelling, and just the energy that it brings to the stadium is just so much more fun. So I'm really excited about that. And then just being like around athletes too. And then like, in stage one, we all had to do each workout by ourselves, not with anybody else. So that was pretty tough as well. So to be able to do the workouts at the same time and just compete and race, it's just, I don't know, it's just so much fun. I really do miss that. So I'm excited to just get back to that.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, 2 events are happening this weekend. The programming's out. Are you guys playing around with any of those events as part of your training? How's that going?
Yeah,
you have something?
I always think.
Sorry, go ahead.
I always. Yeah, go ahead, Kat.
No, I was just going to ask if there's like an event that Bethany would love to be doing, in a competition.
I would. Can I just say it?
Yeah, answer for her.
Yeah, the reverse try. I mean, she would.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Like she beat everyone yesterday off the assault runner. I think the closest person was 3 minutes and now we did a 5K. So I had him do. I had him do just a slightly scaled version of that. I had him do a 5K assault run. I had him do 4K bike erg and a 2K row. And off the assault runner, the next closest to her was 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that people really understand, and we see it every day. But her conditioning is, I think it's Briggs-esque. I haven't seen anybody else other than Briggs, I think, who's on that level. And it's absolutely incredible, especially for someone who's 5'4". I mean, it makes absolutely no sense for her to be able to do what she does on the assault bike and a row. I mean, we did a workout the other day, just to give you an example. It was a rotor workout for them. It was 100 cal assault bike. It was 100 cal assault bike for men, 80 for women. Echo, we use the Echo. 80 GHDs, 60 burpee box jump overs for time, just straight away. Just nasty, gritty type workout. She was now tall Matt DeLugo set the world record for event 3, I believe it was, right? The wall ball row. Yeah. He's just astonishing on the conditioning, on all of the monostructural apparatus, like amazing. She was even with him through 60 calories on the bike and got off the bike. I believe she was set between 17 and 20 cals ahead of the other ladies who are world-class, obviously.
Sure.
Through 80 calories. I mean, it's just unbelievable to see, honestly. It's just incredible. Her background in triathlons and stuff. It's, makes me look good.
Well, let's talk about her power move, right? So it's that wall ball row event in the quarterfinals. Every video you see, people fall off the rower. Not Bethany. That was no big deal. She just gets up and walks off the rower like nothing ever happened.
Like
Still hurt.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
I just try to hold it in. I'm like, it's only a nightmare if I fall on the ground.
but to answer your first question, Kat, yeah, they're going to play around with some of them. I just always think it's fun, to do that. And it's always fun because, you get to see kind of people's times and whatnot. And it's fun to play around with. But we do it, so that it works within the programming. And if there's workouts that I don't particularly like, then I won't,
Sure.
if I just don't think it's a great, an extremely well programmed workout. Although I will be honest with you, the majority of the programming that I've seen, I've been pretty impressed with. I think it's been pretty solid across the board. I really like the MAC programming a lot, from start to finish. I think it's extremely well programmed, and there's not one. It's not oversaturated with one specific modality. I kind of like it. So but yeah, we'll definitely play around with some of them and just kind of see how things go.
So speaking of programming, you've got a little undertaking going on out there in Vegas, something called Underdogs Athletics. Let's hear about that.
Yeah, that's a long time coming, I think. I always in the back of my mind, thought about, about having about putting an online program out. And it just so happened, everything that's happened in the last year and us moving and the environment we've created here and everything, it just was a good time. And actually someone talked me into it. There's a coach that I respect who basically was like, listen, like you've got something to say, beyond just your coaching, like in person, he said, and I think people would really appreciate and respect it. And I'm sure they're interested in what you're doing because you've had, a moderate amount of success. So it was something that, and I talked to Ash about, and she supported me with it because obviously it's a big undertaking. I'll be honest, I didn't know how big of an undertaking, especially when you're doing it all yourself, or yourselves, I should say, with Ash and I, and we have, one other coach that's helping. But it's been incredibly rewarding. We set very manageable goals to start and opened up the program for competitors and then shut it down so that, we could really manage and beta test the first 8 weeks and make sure that we were doing things correctly. And I really wanted to have a lot of engagement with everyone. So we created this private Facebook group, which has been awesome. And, they post videos and I answer questions. And, so far, I think it's going really well. And then we'll open up for the second 8-week cycle just after semifinals. The timing actually works out really well. And then, we're going to be bringing on a couple of coaches to start doing some more individualized coaching because I just can't take on anymore. So we're going to, bringing on a couple coaches who I respect immensely. And one of them who everybody will know, and it's going to be very exciting when we announce it. I can't quite announce it yet, but
Cool.
he's an OG and someone who I think everyone will be really excited that he's jumping in on that scene, and we're excited to have him as part of the family. And so it's been really exciting. And it's so exciting to have Bethany and Carrie and Danielle and Toll and Matt and Nicholas and the athletes, and obviously Emily out in the MAC, but the athletes who right now are really the visible athletes of Underdogs Athletics. And they're all such, just really solid, people, solid athletes, great role models for people to want to aspire to be. So it's been very exciting.
So why 8 weeks? And how similar is the programming to what Bethany does every day?
Yeah. So the 8 weeks, we started with a testing week. I'm just a big data guy, right? Like, and this classic CrossFit, like, people working off of like maxes they had 3 years ago, right? Like, well, what's your deadlift? Well, back in 2018, I deadlifted 510. But
why
right
are you
now,
mimicking me?
yeah, but right now you deadlift 350, right? Like, so I wanted to make sure that we created something where we had a testing week, and we tested strength, we tested body weight movements, we tested metcons, et cetera, so that people really had a baseline and an understanding, and that then we could build the program off of. And yes, it's very similar to, that's why it's a competitor program. It is definitely not a beginner program, and we were very honest about that with people. It's for people who are looking to compete, and really specifically for those who are, I would say, at least at the quarterfinal level, quarterfinal to looking to compete, hopefully getting better or close to quarterfinals, but quarterfinal, semis, games. Now it's a slightly truncated version of what they do, because obviously they're full-time athletes, and that's their job. And most of the people on the program have day gigs, right? So they can't necessarily do 4 or 5 hours a day like these athletes are doing. So we slightly lowered the volume, but they basically the athletes here in Vegas were essentially like the test group for a lot of the metcons, right? So we've got a lot of scores from Carrie and Bethany and et cetera, and Danielle and the rest of the crew, and Matt and Tola, and so it's fun because we're able to kind of put that out there, and people can see what's possible, and have it be inspirational, to be able to try to get to that level. So it's been awesome. Yeah.
So you said the next cycle starts right after semis.
Yeah.
How can people jump on board for that?
Yeah. So if they go to underdogsathletics.com, and we have a registration page, essentially they can register. What they'll do right now is they'll just leave their name and email, and then we'll send out, information. But also just go follow us at Underdogs Athletics on Instagram. And we're constantly giving updates there and putting out really good content about workouts, about what these athletes are doing, about what if they check our story, we're constantly tagging like the athletes that are on the program. It's so cool, like everyone's tagging the program and putting their videos up and stuff, and it's super exciting. So yeah,
you
that's the
get
best way to
good
do it.
motivational speech clips from you.
Yeah, there's a really cool one coming out tomorrow, so I'm stoked about that. Yeah, it's a cool reel that a guy by the name of Justin Wright, he did all of our came and shot quarters, and he's doing a lot of the media stuff for us, and he's put together some amazing things. He did an awesome reel for Bethany for Born Primitive, which is really cool. But tomorrow's a cool one.
So that is a perfect segue, because Kat has some questions for Bethany.
I hear that you're coming out with a new line for Born Primitive.
I am.
And just curious to know, like, what was your favorite part of that process?
Oh man, so it's crazy. It's been like almost 2 years, so it'll come out in January. So I'm super excited about that. It's cool because I have one of my friends helping me design, because that's just not my specialty, is being an artiste. So she helped me like draw out everything. So one, that's actually brought our relationship even closer together. So that's been really cool. And then just like getting to design things and then see it come to life has been really awesome. And if people that follow me know that I like pineapples, so there's going to be some pineapple things, and actually have some like guy and girl matching pineapple outfits. I'm super excited about that. And yeah, just getting to kind of put out some new sports bras that that cater not only to me but hopefully to all the other Born Primitive athletes and people that follow Born Primitive. So yeah, it's been a fun process and great learning experience too. Never thought I would do this, so it's been a huge learning experience, a huge learning curve, and it takes a lot of patience and a lot of just like hard work putting that stuff into it. Things that you don't even think of. You're like, oh, I thought it just magically happens. No. It's a long process. So yeah, I'm really excited about that.
That's cool that you're doing men's and women's, because generally,
Yeah.
you stick with the same sex, but that's exciting.
Yeah, it'll just be one piece for the guys, but I mean, hopefully I can expand it, later on to some more pieces for the guys, because I don't know. I like matching, so I'm excited to match with my boyfriend, and there's other people that like to match too. So
Yeah, and you have plenty of fans that are men, so they'll buy your stuff, I'm sure.
I'm sure there's
Hopefully
no
women
shortage
too.
there. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Probably not.
Oh gosh. Biggest fan's my boyfriend though, for sure.
Yeah. So that is like the main questions we have for you. So now we're actually going to get into the rapid fire segment, and I'm going to let Kat kick that off.
Yeah. So following up on the line, do you have a favorite piece that's coming out in January that you can just give us a little hint about?
Yes, I've worn it a couple times on Instagram, but it's actually a windbreaker jacket, and it's got a pineapple design on the top, and then it's white. So super excited about that one. It's a fun one. It'll be mostly for women, but I think there's going to be some guys that will want to grab it too. So
Awesome.
it'll be fun.
So Justin.
Yeah.
So Justin, what is Bethany's spirit animal?
Spirit animal, cheetah.
A cheetah.
No, it's probably honestly, it's probably a bulldog. I mean, let's be honest. That's Bella,
Yeah,
right?
Bella.
Like, yeah, but I mean, as
Sure.
far as the conditioning, yeah, the cheetah for sure.
So conversely, Bethany, what is Justin's spirit animal?
Oh my gosh, something with a lot of wisdom. Maybe, okay, it's gonna sound bad, but don't take it the wrong way. But like an elephant, right?
No,
'Cause they have a lot of something with like a lot of grace and a lot of wisdom. It's just been around for a while and just knows things. Has seen things and knows things, and I see that in you.
I like the elephant. I'm cool with that.
So Justin, I'm going ad lib now. Justin, what's your favorite song to sing?
His songs.
Oh man, yeah.
It changes on a weekly basis.
Probably anything by Prince would probably be, the way
I
to
see
go.
that. I see that. After listening to your little EP.
Yeah. No, that used to be
High
when Ash would come to shows. She always used to love when I would sing Prince stuff. So like, Kiss and Want to Be Your Lover and that type of stuff. Yeah.
I love it. So Bethany, if we ever get you out to a karaoke bar, what are you singing?
Oh my gosh.
Actually interested to hear this. What would it be? I want to know.
Have you ever done karaoke?
No, definitely not. 100% no. You'll never catch me doing karaoke. Maybe like a Shania Twain song or a country song or something. I don't know.
Okay, so Justin, that's your homework. When we come out after West Coast
Oh
Classic,
my
we got to find
gosh.
ourselves a little karaoke bar, and we're driving Bethany there.
Oh,
I'll do it with
Definitely
you.
not.
It'll be fine.
That's perfect.
Sound good?
Oh gosh, no way.
So I don't have my glasses, so I'm just going to defer to Kat.
So if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Bethany.
I always say this, it would just be to make everyone happy in the world. I just want everyone to be happy. That would be my
Aw,
superpower.
How about you,
Absolutely.
Justin? That's a tough one to follow.
I'd like to be able to regenerate, like kind of like Wolverine.
That is a great one.
I need that for my
I've
back.
never heard that one.
Yeah, I just, I have a lot of sports injuries, and as I get older, there are things that I can't do as well as I used to be able to, and I would love to be able to still do those things. So I've thought in my mind many times how I'd like to be able to regenerate certain things. So yeah, that would be mine.
All right, this is for both of you. What is your favorite breakfast food?
Mine's the same thing that I eat probably for every meal. It's like ground beef and sweet potato or rice or acorn squash or beets.
Are you like not a
What's that?
breakfast food person? Because I can't
No.
stand like eggs or anything like
Yeah.
that. I'll eat like salmon and rice for breakfast, and people think
I
it's
know.
Wow.
Yeah,
disgusting.
that's delicious. No, I love that.
I love it.
If I like every once in a while, like if I want to go crazy, I'll have a Belgian waffle because I do like Belgian waffles, but I can't have them very often because I have such a sensitive stomach. So that's why, like, I'd love to eat normal breakfast food, but my stomach says no. So I just go with like normal dinner,
works.
lunch food. Yeah.
So here's the important question. Do you still have coffee with your cream?
Yeah, all cream, just a little bit of coffee.
Just like me.
Basically, that's where it ends up being. I'm just like, man. And it's like my boyfriend, he's always like, you need like 3 different creamers that are specific fancy creamers, or it's just not right. And I'm like, it's so true, but it's like all creamer. It's all like coconut based creamers or whatever. That's like my bad thing, which is
And a
so like
splash of coffee.
so crazy. Yeah, with just a little coffee.
Yeah. I love it. Justin, what's your go-to breakfast food?
I love breakfast. So I'm a big eggs and bacon guy. I love eggs and bacon. I make breakfast for the family every day, and I'll do different styles of eggs, and we'll do bacon, turkey bacon, etc. But that's pretty much my go-to for breakfast.
Do you have a favorite egg
He's
preparation?
a phenomenal cook.
Thank you, Bethany. It's definitely it's definitely a passion. I love cooking. I would say I'm very particular about my scrambled eggs. I think there are very few places that make scrambled eggs the way they're supposed to be made. Everyone overcooks them.
Take them off the heat, put them back on the heat, take them off the heat.
Got to keep them moving.
I just learned that too.
Yeah.
You put milk in them?
No, don't.
Some people put milk in them.
The Parisians, yeah, sometimes. But if you get good enough quality, you don't necessarily have to. But yeah, I love cooking eggs. Either I would say, because scrambled eggs to me are really an art. You can really screw them up. So yeah.
Do you guys know what scrapple is?
Yeah.
Scrapple is like a breakfast meat, and it's kind of like all the old used parts of a
kind of like spam.
Delicious. Yeah.
Delicious.
There's
It's
this
a
new
big
place that
Philly
opened
thing.
up where I live, and they make this thing called a gondola. It's called the gondola, and it's basically like, think about like a Philadelphia sub roll that's sort of hollowed out, and inside they put cream cheese like on the inside of the bread, and then they scramble the eggs like French style, scrambled with like a little bit of cream and chives, and they put chopped up scrapple in it, and you get this, and it looks like a little boat. It's called the gondola, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Now, I said I hate breakfast foods, but that is the one thing I will eat for breakfast every once in a while.
Scrapple.
Scrapple is definitely like a Philly thing. Like when I went to college, we used to.
It has to be well done, though. It has to be crispy. It cannot be mushy.
Yes, agreed.
Well, they say to a chef, the true test of a good chef is they can cook an egg.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not.
I have heard that. Yes.
What about steak? Because Justin makes really good steak too. Really good. Like,
so what time
better
you
than
have
a
this over,
fancy
Justin?
restaurant.
I know, right? When's breakfast and when's dinner?
You guys are coming to Vegas soon?
Sear on my steak.
Yeah, West Coast.
Yeah,
we'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, let him cook for you, because we'll go over there and it's just like, what in the world? This is amazing. I'm like, how?
We'll grill out when you guys come for sure.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, so just back to gym and work ethic here. One last question. Who is the first one in the gym?
Oh, the boys are usually the first
Boys,
ones in
yeah.
the gym.
Or Danielle, she's usually there really early too.
Yeah, she's really early.
Yeah. Me and Carrie are the late
likes
ones.
to sleep.
Yeah. I have a routine in the morning. I like my sleep because, well, I always work. So this is the first time where I get to just train. So I was like, well, if I get to train, I can train whenever I want to a certain extent. And then I was like, I want to get like 10 to 12 hours of sleep. And then I like to read and journal and do a devotion in the mornings. I like to take my time. And then Carrie's the same way. We're just kind of like, we float in.
Late morning vibe. I like it.
Yeah, for sure.
The boys usually get there in the morning for do an early lifting session, but then the ladies come in, and Danielle will get there in the morning sometimes. But generally we Metcon, like we have a set time to Metcon. And that's a time when, you know, to me, like it's important to have that scheduled, you know, like scheduled Metcon, you know, if you get there late, you know, we're still starting at that time, you know, and that's good because I just think it reinforces what a competition is like. So we do that a couple times a week. We have that schedule. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's the last to leave?
Bethany and Bella.
Yep.
Usually
We're the
Bethany.
slow
Is it,
ones.
is it because you can't
I
get her
think my-
moving?
I think my spirit animal is a sloth. I'm so slow.
She's very deliberate
And
about
thorough.
Yeah, but
Thorough.
nothing bad, but like
Yeah.
very, very thorough with her accessory work and
Yeah.
and her mobility work, and you know, like, you know, she
It's very meticulous.
It
extremely.
almost seems cathartic,
Yeah.
you know.
I think
I
it's
watch
just
it.
I
part of
love
your
it though. Like
routine. Yeah.
I love that stuff so much. I have such a passion for it that like I honestly sometimes love being in the gym by myself, like on a Saturday or Sunday, and I'll just stay for like hours after sometimes and just kind of like, you know, I'll do my videos that I need to do for Instagram and do my accessory work, and I'll stretch a little bit, and maybe I'll just foam roll or whatever. I don't know. I love it.
I have a confession to make. I bought toe spacers.
Yeah. Welcome to the crew.
I'm enjoying them. I used to be a ballerina, so my feet were always squished into point shoes like my whole life. So I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So,
Embrace.
last question.
Embrace it.
Have you got replacements for your Croc Nanos?
No, not yet. I'm still waiting. I sent some shoes off actually to a guy, and I honestly don't know what happened there, but they've been gone for like a year now. I'm still waiting.
Maybe he's just meticulous and thorough.
Yeah, maybe he's
Yeah.
just taking his time too. I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
Shoes.
I thought about it the other day though. I was like, hold on. I think I sent off some shoes to get done. And then I was like, I did. And I was like, I think it's been like 8 months. And I was like, I don't know what happened. But I don't, but they're still preserved a little bit. I haven't worn them yet. So I don't usually wear them as normal shoes, but I'll bring them out. I got to bring them out for the West Coast Classic. They're a little messed up from a rope climb, but you know, I'll make do. If I have a chance to wear my actual Crocs though, I will wear my actual Crocs.
For sure.
Don't
Is there a rule that you can't?
I mean, no, I think you just have to wear shoes, and they're they are somewhat of shoes ish.
That is a rule about shoes. I remember watching regionals a couple years ago, and
they have
to
shoes.
Somebody was doing one workout, and it was a worm with burpee over the worm, and the girl took her shoes off to do the burpee over worm, and the judge made her stop and put her shoes back on. It was you know, a score killer. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
but
I
she
cannot
does do
wait
some
to see you
workouts with
guys.
Crocs.
I can't wait to see you guys in a couple weeks. It's gonna
What was that, Justin?
I said she does do some workouts with Crocs.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
Oh
If
yeah.
she can.
Any chance I get, I'm like, Mom, all right, I'm doing it with my Crocs on. Yeah. That's why with stage 1, when we did the handstand hold, I was like, I'm taking advantage of my moment. This is my moment. I can wear my Crocs. So I did.
Croc rocking.
Yep.
Yep. Ain't crocking, ain't rocking.
All right. Well, I know Kat was trying to say that we are so excited to see you guys in a couple weeks. I can't wait to root you guys on. I can't wait to see healthy Bethany kill it.
Yep.
That's going to be awesome.
Thank you.
And you guys have been crushing it all year. So, gosh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
We love
Thanks
you guys
so much for having us on. It's really a pleasure. I love hanging out with you guys. So thank you.
Same here.
Yeah, make sure you follow Underdogs on Instagram to get all the latest on what's going on there, and get excited about Bethany's new product line coming out in January. That's going to be awesome. And we love you guys. You guys are so cool, and we will see you in a few weeks.
Yeah,
Sounds
thank
awesome.
you.
Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.